Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the webinar. I just would like to announce that we're recording this webinar, so please be aware of that. I think we have an opening introduction talk by Albert Suybers from Martel. The EU has a wide range of funding initiatives to fund cloud innovation. And one of them is cognitive cloud, for example. Many innovations are being developed throughout the consortia in Europe, and we would like to report out on what those innovations are and how they contribute to the European cloud scene. We've invited 7 projects from the various programs. They're going to report out on what they're doing, for which use cases they see their innovations very valuable. And we're going to specifically focus on 3 questions in the webinar. One is, what types of AI are appropriate for cognitive cloud innovation? So what type of AI are we basically addressing? Which ones do we see very relevant? Then there's another question that goes around, which is AI needs to be trained, deployed, and managed within a cognitive cloud. How do we make it lightweight, flexible, and basically easy to use? And the third question is geared towards the future, is where we want to look at all the various innovations that we're doing. And we've met with some of the other projects as well. And we're asking ourselves now, basically, so what's the next wave of innovation that we need? Because these kind of projects were basically the starting point of innovation around cloud, but we need to continue innovate further. Your limelight, so please go ahead and share your slides.
Thank you, Fred. I will. I hope you can see my screen.
Yes.
Perfect. Thank you. Well, thank you for inviting me to do the short presentation and introduction to the EU Cloud Edge IoT initiative. As a coordinator of Open Continuum, I'm happy to do so. The EU Cloud Edge IoT initiative is based on joint forces of 2 CSAs. One is the Open Continuum Asset, and the other one is Unlock CI. The difference between the two is that Open Continuum is focusing on the supply side of the continuum, where Unlock has focused on the demand side. So we're trying to match these demands and to see how we can support the community of research projects focusing on Cloud Edge IoT. So the focus is several objectives: promote an open ecosystem. So this is the collaboration part, and open source, open standards. We're trying to support the RIAs as much as possible to work with open source and to contribute to open standards. Open standards is not always easy. RIAs have a limited time frame, and creating standards takes a lot of time. But we try to do this at best. 28th of May, there's a IEEE event in Helsinki where some of the project will be presented. From Open Continuum, we work on a joint taxonomy and a reference architecture to support this. That's part of the standardization that we will present there. Unlock is working on market scenarios, shareholder, stakeholder engagement. So building communities supported by this should support. So these 2 elements together have created joint task forces that we invite all projects to participate in, join them. So from Open Continuum, we have a constructive work collaboration with research initiatives, EU initiatives with the industry sectors, IoTI, Gaia-X, KDT, SNS joint undertaking. And there's a lot of events that we participate in representing the projects. So if you would like to be presented at some of the events, please connect to Task Force 1. Katarina can help you in this. The second task force, Eclipse, is running this, is on open source. And then we have the architecture task force on the taxonomy and reference architecture that will be published soon. It's the first presentation now done to the EC. Of course, you can imagine there's always requests for more details, but this is what we work on and finish by the end of the project and hand over to the next CSA to support the RIAs in a continuous way. So then there's two on the open calls and the demand market drivers, where we have the value chain adapter working group there as well. And then the sixth task force is what we supported by today is the communication task force, the series of webinars that we are organizing, and brand and community management. So the community, as said, is growing. Some of the projects mentioned here have finished already. Some of them just started. But we can imagine the EC is really interested in building the stack from RISC-V, that's not in this, but we invite them where we can, up to MateOS, Swarm, Cognitive Cloud, and build that stack and how to contribute. So all these projects are contributing to this, and there should be, by request of Max Lemke, by the end of June, the first report on how these collaborate together and supporting the industry. So that's where we need your input, and this is also where we can support you in disseminating this type of results to the EC. Now, today's webinar is part of a series of webinars that we are organizing. Katrina is leading this, so we had already IoT Insights, we had the MateOS, Cognitive Cloud. This is done today, is the future-proof solution for cognitive-enabled cloud computing, part one of two events on the same topic. There's a few more coming. Swarm and open source is happening soon as well. So reach out to the EU Cloud Edge IoT website, RIA Showcase, as mentioned here above, to register for it. And if there's any questions you have regarding organization of a showcase webinar in this, please reach out to Katarina. Thank you for the introduction here, for allowing me to do the introduction, and I wish you a very solid and fruitful webinar. Right.
Thank you very much, Albert, also for the very nice overview.